gaming has become a lot more accessible than before, thanks to a slew of amazing free games that are genuinely worth playing and really sinking your teeth into. With this feature, we'll be taking a look at 15 of the best free-to-play games that only provide compelling gameplay, but also have a strong visual presentation with great graphics. Synced. Developed by Next Studios, Synced is a co-op shooter set against the backdrop of a sci-fi world. Players take control of mercenaries as they venture deep into enemy territory to defeat machines that impose a mortal threat to human existence. In addition to solid third-person cover shooting and the ability to summon nanobots for assistance, Synced also features high-fidelity visuals with great lighting and texture work. Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 might not have been the sequel that many were hoping for, but it still shares the same fundamental gameplay of the original, and that alone makes it a really fun time to begin with. With a diverse roster of visually and functionally distinct characters and a plethora of maps, Overwatch 2 can keep you entertained for hours on end. It's also free to play, of course, so trying it out won't hurt your wallets. Aperture Desk Job. Set in the Aperture Labs, as seen in the Portal games, the recently released Aperture Desk Job is a short experience that's meant to get players up to speed with the features and controls of the Steam Deck. It's nothing exceptional gameplay-wise, but the sharp-witted humor and great visual presentation make it a must-try for anyone who has a Steam Deck and a few minutes to spare. Trackmania. Trackmania gives players the tools to come up with all manner of crazy track layouts, and there's perhaps nothing else like it on the market. With hundreds upon hundreds of blocks available to choose from, there's a ton of interesting stuff that you can create with Trackmania. The game also features a simple yet pleasing art style, and the developer does a great job of updating the game with new content every couple of months. Splitgate. Developer 1047 Games' Splitgate is an interesting amalgamation of Portal's portal hopping mechanics with first-person shooting, which come together to create an experience like no other. Splitgate presents itself with great attention to detail without compromising on elements like enemy visibility, and it's a really great deal for the asking price of nothing. Sure, it's not as popular as it once was, but there is a dedicated base of players that continue to grind through the game on a daily basis. Race Room Racing Experience. Race Room Racing Experience is a gearhead's dream come true, and that too at a free price. Developed by KW Studios, Race Room Racing Experience is a simulation racer with dozens upon dozens of real-life cars to choose from and tracks to race on. The gameplay obviously has a ton of depth, with customization options and different kinds of player progression, making it a game that one can really sink their teeth into. Add to that the ability to play in VR, and Race Room Racing Experience becomes a really tantalizing experience. Dead Frontier 2 puts players in the middle of a post-apocalyptic world that tasks them to survive against hostile undead creatures, with little in the name of resources and ammunition. It's an MMO, so you do have plenty of flexibility in how you wish to build out your character with different skills and perks. The presentation is top-notch, and the game flaunts some impressive designs along with high asset quality and realistic lighting. Century Age of Ashes. Century Age of Ashes is all about giving players the ultimate fantasy of controlling a giant dragon as it majestically flies through picturesque landscapes while spewing different elemental attacks from its mouth. You can choose to battle it out against AI-controlled enemies in the Outbreak mode, or test your mettle against real players in the PvP modes, such as Gates of Fire or Survival. Different dragon classes operate differently from each other, and there's a lot of fun to be had in coming up with different strategies for victory. The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Developed by Don't Nod of Life is Strange fame, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit is a standalone storyline about Chris from Life is Strange 2 as he embarks on his imaginative adventures as a superhero to escape the frailties of reality. The game shares the same art style as Don't Nod's other works, and the writing is also unsurprisingly quality stuff. Some of the choices you make in this free standalone game will link back to Life is Strange 2, so be ready for plenty of callbacks and secrets as well. Bloodspear. Released in 2021, Bloodspear is an interesting action Souls-like where you are put in the shoes of a spear-wielding warrior in a medieval fantasy time period. Combat primarily revolves around using your spear to attack enemies. You can freely switch between long-ranged attacks and short-range attacks, and while there is a bit of inherent jank in the gameplay, there's plenty of stuff to like as well. The game is developed using Unreal Engine and looks incredible with gorgeous lighting and grand-looking environments. Cry of Fear. Cry of Fear is a meaty single-player experience featuring a campaign that will last you well over 8 hours, with multiple endings to keep you coming back for more. There's co-op support and dozens of weapons to choose from, which helps in mixing things up when it comes to gameplay. It's a great game with plenty of merits, and you can't really go wrong in trying Cry of Fear since the price of admission is quite literally free. Crossout. Crossout puts players into a post-apocalyptic setting as they assume control of complex machines of destruction and use them to wreak havoc upon their adversaries. Crossout offers great flexibility in how you wish to deck out your battle cars with different interchangeable parts and weapons, so you can really flex your creative muscles. The game is largely PvP focused, so there's a ton of fun to be had in seeing your creations clash against others in a survival of the fittest situation. The visuals are great, and the art direction does a lot of the heavy lifting in the case of Crossout. Gravitas. Set against the gallery of refined gravity, developer Galaxy Shark Studios' Gravitas is a first-person puzzler, where you manipulate gravity to solve rooms and progress through different rooms. The Portal influences are pretty evident, but the game does a good job of creating a strong foundation of original ideas and creating compelling level designs around that central hook. It has a simple color palette but looks good, and is a must-try for fans of such puzzlers. Deathly Stillness. Deathly Stillness originated from a game-developed hackathon, and the developer polished this prototype and released it for everyone to enjoy. It's not a full-fledged game since there isn't a story or varied objectives, but it definitely impresses with its high level of visual fidelity and creepy enemy designs. You can also do some light customization to your player characters and engage in combat sequences, which should keep you busy for a while. Landfall Archives. Landfall Archives is a collection of 23 projects from developer Landfall that has been compiled into a single package. These projects include unreleased games, demos, interactive slideshows, and prototypes of the developer's games, which include but are not limited to Auction Brawl, Rounds 3D, and Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, among others. While most of these experiences aren't the most polished or complete, it's still fun to poke around and see many of your favorite games in their prototype stages. And that brings us to the end of the video. A quick request: we upload new videos every single day, and if you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing. It really helps us out. Also, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon so that you can receive daily video updates. Thanks for watching.